Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Kita berjumpa lagi dalam lessons ataupun lecture yang terbaru. Okay, so for this lessons, for this lecture, I'm going to talk about the last topics of this ICT 501 and also ITS 472. Okay, so the topics for today is emerging technologies, right? And also the applications, emerging technologies and also the applications. Okay, so it will cover, number one is mobile database, clouds, and a little bit about NoSQL database, and also number four, based on the notes, we will talk about multimedia database. Okay, so it's actually we have three subtopic, but just introduce you all to the new topics. It is a NoSQL database. Okay, this is just very basic informations about the NoSQL database. Alright, so for it's actually we are supposed to be here in week 12, right? So we are supposed to be here in week 12. Okay, normally we are ahead of a schedule. Okay, so we are supposed to be here. Okay, so there's something wrong here, and we are now here, and we are supposed to be in week 12. We are in week 12, right? So last week is week 11, and for this week is a week 12. Okay, so we have another 3 weeks plus this week, week 12, week 13, and also week 14. But this is our last chapter for this subject, emerging technologies and also its applications. Okay, so we have another 2 weeks again after this. I think after this I will do something like what we call as a revisions. Okay, so to look back into our new 4 chapters, transaction management, distributed database management, business intelligence, and also data warehouse, and the last one is emerging technologies. Okay, so without further ado, right, so I think we have straightforward, go to the notes. Okay, so you can find the notes here in the Island or U Future, under my folder. Okay, so you can download this file, emerging technologies edited. Okay, you can download this one. Okay, again, so for this chapter, even though you have you see these 2 chapter, but it's going to be the same. So I will cover this topic using these notes. Chapter 8, emerging technologies edited, PPTX. Okay, so let's move to the slides. Okay, this is the slides for emerging technologies. Okay, so we are supposed to be here. Alright, so emerging technologies is actually, never mind, it's actually chapter 11, but it doesn't matter. We have we already covered 4 new chapters, and this is the last one. Okay, the first one is transaction management. Number 2 is DDBMS. Number 3 is BI plus data warehouse, and this is the last one, emerging technologies, emerging database and technologies. Okay, alright, so let's continue to our next slides. Okay, so without further ado, let's start from the beginnings. Okay, so alright, so this is the chapter outline, like you see earlier, right? So we cover number 1 is a mobile database, based on the mobile architecture characteristics and also the data management issues. And number 2 is multimedia database, and Number 3 is a little bit about cloud database. Okay, right. So it's something related to the cloud and the concepts and the rise of the cloud characteristic, and also the examples, a little bit of examples for the cloud. But before that, I will explain something related to the what we call as a NoSQL. All right. Okay, before I talk about mobile database, let's me introduce to you all a little bit about NoSQL. Okay, so first one. Okay, maybe you all first time see this terms, NoSQL. Okay, so before this, you all already know the definitions of SQL. SQL stand for structured query language. Okay, so for today, just for an introductions, okay, let me introduce you something we call as a NoSQL. Okay, so what is NoSQL? Okay, before this, we know when we talk about SQL, okay, the main purpose of SQL is 2D, two dimension. Means that we have two dimension, X and Y, for example, and towards the end, we have we have a row and column, and lastly, we create a table. Okay, this is what we call SQL. Okay, so meaning that's all the data we save or we store in the table using the table. Okay, so this is our, when we talk about table, this is our schema. Okay, this is our schema. So we use a table, and then after that we create ERD and so on. Okay, so this is SQL. Okay, so what is NoSQL? Right, so no means, right, so in a very layman terms, no is no, tidak, or maybe not, so maknanya NoSQL. Or in the standard definition, no is not only, okay, SQL. Okay, so NO stand for not only SQL. So meaning that if let's say SQL, we store the data and the information in the table using the table for our schema, but for NoSQL, not only SQL, okay, so we have maybe we use a different schema. Okay, so basically, okay, we use NoSQL in a big data environment. Okay, so normally we use NoSQL in big data environment. So that is why, if let's say you all choose track big data, okay, so after this you will see another subject, you will learn another subject, ITS 408, and that is something related to the big data. Okay, right, so this is what we call NoSQL. Okay, so let's looks into a basic definitions of NoSQL. Okay, so in this case, maybe you all can Google, just Google the informations. All right. Okay, this is the definitions of NoSQL. Okay, so if let's say you can see here, NoSQL stand for not only SQL. Right, so it's an alternative to traditional relational. So relational means table, relational, or we call it as RDBMS, which is data is placed in a table. Okay, so this is the basic definition. When we talk about relational before this, alright, so we can imagine that the data will be stored in the table, and data schema is carefully designed before database is built. So what is data schema? Okay, in our situation, we create ERD, normalizations, and so on. Okay. Okay. So this is our schema. But for NoSQL databases are especially useful for working with a large sets of distributed database. Okay. So when we talk about large set, this is what we call big data. Okay. So this is what we call a big data. So that's why in your next subject, ITS 408 or 408, okay, you learn something related to the big data. So you all can find or maybe he will the lecturer will explain a detail about the NoSQL. So what is NoSQL and how it works and so on. Okay, so for today this is just an introduction. So if let's say you see you read about these terms, NoSQL, at least you all already know the definitions. No and O stand for not only SQL, or in simple how you can imagine, no mean tidak, bukan SQL lah. So that is what we call bukan SQL. So maksud dia kalau SQL simpanan table, bukan SQL simpan dalam bentuk apa? Okay, they have another schema here. So it will work with a large sets of distributed data. So this is what we call distributed. If let's say we want to distribute data, when we talk about distribute is sometimes is we play with the big data, either in the data warehouse or data mart. Okay, so all the topics is related. Okay, so let's move to our main issue, as main slides for today. Alright, so at least I will already explained about the terms NoSQL here. Okay, so nanti jangan terkejut lah. Bila jumpa perkataan ni, so takut nanti terkejut pula. Okay, so that's why this is what we call the NoSQL database. Okay, I will not explain further for these topics. Just an introduction. Introduction for the NoSQL database. Okay, let's move to the next one, mobile database, cloud and also multimedia, using our PowerPoint slides. Okay. Okay, so our first sub-chapter here is a mobile database. I think for you all, mobile database is considered quite something that can be considered is common in the year 2020, 2020. Okay, so it's quite common for all students and also for all lecturer. Okay, so just for the sake of informations, I will explain. Okay, but before that, I will talk about. Okay, before that, okay, I just want to explain something. Okay, what is emerging technologies? Alright, so what is emerging technologies? Okay, the words emerging here. Okay, so what is the words emerging? Okay, please bear in mind, emerging is not merge. Emerge is not merge. Okay, merge ni gabung. Okay, jangan confuse. Bila nampak macam merge ni, sometimes you all straightforward, imagine gabung, database yang digabungkan. No, there is not gabungan of database. Emerge mean, if let's say you can Google, then you can straightforward see the definitions. Emerge mean exist ataupun maybe muncul. Okay, so that there's a lot of terms here. So I like to use the words exist. The existings of the database technologies. Maksud dia kemunculan. Okay, ataupun dalam bahasa Melayu kita panggil dia muncul. Emerging, emerge, the emerge. So maksud dia from time to time the technologies will emerge. Benda-benda yang berkaitan teknologi ni akan muncul. Okay, so this is what we call as the emerge. Okay, so please bear in mind, don't confuse yourself. Emerge and merge is two different things. Merge is gabung. Emerge is I like to use the word exist. Dia muncul. Dia maksud dia wujud. Dia create, dia akan datang something. Dia akan wujud the new technologies, new database, new applications. Okay. So this is the words emerging. Right? So let's move back to the slides. Okay. Right. So we talk about number one is mobile. Mobile database. Alright, so mobile database is a database that can be connected to by a mobile computing device over a wireless mobile network. Okay, so this is also something that you need to bear in mind. Okay, when we talk about mobile, something that can be mobily uh, use. Maksudnya kita boleh gunakan secara mobile, secara mobile ni what we call as maksudnya kita boleh bawa mana-mana. Okay, so jangan straightforward when we talk about mobile terus ingat handphone. Okay, yes, correct. Handphone is one of the mobile database. Okay, so andai katalah if let's say for example kita boleh bawa kita punya desktop, okay, desktop komputer ni merata-rata boleh bawa jalan-jalan, this is also can be considered as a mobile. Tapi kalau kita tengok sekarang ni mungkin tak berlaku lah. Siapa nak pergi bawa desktop komputer berjalan-jalan kan? Unless kalau laptop. So if let's say laptop, you can bring together along. So this is also can be considered as a mobile database. As long as the database can be connected to by a mobile computing device. Mobile computing device, any device, as long as it's mobile. If let's say handphone, like for example handphone, our tablet, laptop, and so on. Then we can connect over wireless mobile network. Okay, so this is the definitions of mobile database. Okay, number 2, mobile data-driven application enable us to access any data from anywhere, anytime. Okay, so this is the keyword also for the mobile. So sometimes you heard people talk about 24/7. 24/7 meaning that 24 hours per day for 7 weeks. So in other words is non-stop. Okay, in other words is so anytime, anywhere here. Alright, so means that non-stop. 24/7. Okay, tak berhenti ni. So macam kita sekarang ni lah, using, that's why like I mentioned earlier, handphone is part of the mobile database. So kita boleh guna, we can use anytime, anywhere, non-stop, 24/7. Okay, alright. So and sometimes people call it ubiquitous. Okay, you can Google it, ubiquitous, right? ubiquitous. Ubiquitous pun means something related to the anytimes, anywhere. We can use non-stop 24/7. Okay, so the examples, something like this. Salespersons can update sales record on the move. Okay, so like example today is too many examples. Lazada, Shopee, whatever it is. So any personal e-commerce apps and so on. Okay, reporter can update news database anytime. Okay, it happened today. So that's why we talk about mobile database in the year 2020. It's something like what we call as a quite common. Okay, doctor can retrieve patient medical history anytime, anywhere. Okay, mobile database are needed to support this application data processing capabilities. So we can use the data. Okay, like in our situation now, PKP. Okay, so we use the apps called My Sejahtera, something like that. My Sejahtera. So we can use 24/7 to track all the people that have a COVID virus, the COVID-19, the coronavirus, and so on. Okay, so this is part of the example for today environment. Okay, let's move to another one. Okay, why mobile database? Okay, this is something yang quite simple. I just go very fast. Okay, number of smartphones in use around the world past 1 billion in 2012. Okay, so now we are in the year 2020. So way better. And so the number of the smartphone user is more than 1 billion for sure. Alright, so next billion device could be reached within less than 3 years. Okay, so maybe you can Google it. And now year 2020. So number of user using smartphone and so on. Okay, more business move towards employees mobility. Okay, so it happened now in year 2000, especially during the PKP, right? So business now move towards mobility, all mobile. Okay, so no more it's not no more face to face, but the environment change to use a mobile environments. Okay, so meetings mobile, meetings online and so on. Okay, all the transaction mobile, and so on. So we can see the trend here. Alright, and the next one, okay, powerful lightweight computing device and low-cost mobile connectivity pave the way for data-driven application. Okay, so example is our handphone. It's quite durable. It's quite low cost. And also the connectivity is quite good. So nowadays we don't need laptop anymore. Maybe we can use our handphones and maybe tablets to do our works. Okay, right, next. Okay, this is the database architecture, mobile database architecture. Alright, so for example, this is a client, so maybe we are here, we are as a client. Okay, so we need internet, so that's why we need to subscribe to the data. Okay, so all the applications will send the data to the server, and the server will put the data inside the database. Okay, so the architecture is quite similar to our network, like local area network, WAN and so on. We still need internet. So the internet is used to connect all the mobiles and all the client here. Okay, next. Okay, mobile database architecture, physically separated from the central database. Okay, so I think you all agree with this. So all the application will not stored in our handphone or mobile. It's normally it will put in central database server. Like for example Google's, Yahoo, and so on. Okay, so it will not store the database inside our handphone. Okay, the database is all over the world, separated. Okay, resides on mobile device. Okay, maybe certain application, the database will reside on our mobile database devices. Okay, capable of communicating with the central database server on other mobile client from remote sites. Okay, of course, remote mean jauh, tempat yang jauh. Ni nak cerita sikit lah ni. So normally kita sekarang ni kalau nampak perkataan remote ni selalu terpengaruh dengan perkataan remote ni. For example, kita nak tukar channel TV, kita kata please ambil remote. So sebenarnya kalau ambil remote tu, kalau ikut definisi salah tu. Remote maksudnya jauh. So kalau kita translate, tolong ambil jauh. So actually kalau kita nak suruh ambil remote, so maksud dia kena habiskan cerita dia, remote control. Okay, maksud dia alat kawalan jauh. So remote control. But then kita dah terlalu sinonim dengan perkataan remote ni. Contoh kalau kita beritahu adik tolong ambil remote. Okay, so sebenarnya kita suruh dia ambil jauh. So kalau kata tolong ambil remote control, okay, yang itu betul lah. Tapi tak kisahlah, because dah quite sinonim dengan kita punya environment. When we talk about remote, sebenarnya kita terbayangkan remote control. Tapi sebenarnya remote adalah jauh. So we can communicate from our client from different remote sites. So that's why Google can communicate with us. Google is based in US, and then we can communicate with us in Malaysia, in Europe, and all over the world. Okay. And the next one, handle local query without connectivity. Okay, so sometimes this database, mobile database can handle local query without connectivity. For example, example kat sini, without connectivity. Okay, let's say for example kita gunakan Waze. Okay, kalau kita gunakan Waze untuk navigation, okay, so normally perlukan internet ke tidak? Okay, Waze sebenarnya perlukan internet. So kalau perlukan internet, dia tak boleh buat local connectivity. So dia perlukan internet untuk dia connect ke server, and then after that dia give back information to us. But then bayangkan kalau ini for the navigation. Bayangkan kalau kita punya navigation yang duduk dalam kereta. Kalau kata you all punya parent ada kereta yang canggih-canggih sikit ni, sometimes dalam radio dia tu ada navigation. Okay, so when we talk about navigation dalam kereta, biasanya dia akan buat local query. Maksud dia tak perlu internet pun tak apa. Bila masuk local query, maksud dia kita dah install lah dengan nama lain ni. Kita dah install siap-siap peta tu. Kalau nak pergi Pahang, dah ada peta Pahang. Nak pergi Singapura, kalau tak install tak adalah. Tapi kalau kita dah install adalah peta Singapura. Tapi kalau kita guna Waze, kita tak perlukan install peta tu. Kita just gunakan Waze sahaja. As long as ada internet, kita boleh dapat peta satu dunia. So that's the different apa tu? Perbezaan dia. The difference between local and also with the network. So kalau local macam itulah contohnya. Dan sekarang ni banyak lagi contoh yang kita boleh tengok lah. Okay, next. Okay, this is another mobile database architecture, still going to be the same. Okay, so if let's say now we have a laptop here, we have a smartphone. Okay, sometimes the apps, okay, stored the database inside our smartphone. Sometimes it's stored inside our laptop, but normally it will communicate through the central database. Of course, we need a network or internet. Okay, and then it will stored in the central database and also central server. Okay, so this is the client server mobile database. Okay, so normally it will be something like this. Okay, next. Mobile database architecture. Client server model is a traditional model of a information system. Okay, so if let's say you can you heard about these terms, client and server, pelayan and also pelanggan kalau bahasa Melayu. Client and server. Client is pelanggan, server is pelayan. Okay, and it is the dominant model for the existing mobile databases. Okay, so it looks like it's still people are still using the client server architecture, and the server can become a single point of failure and performance bottleneck. Okay, so dia dah berlaku jugalah. What is bottleneck? Nak cerita sikit kat sini. What is bottleneck? Apa yang you faham tentang bottleneck? Okay, something like this. Bayangkan, okay, ni leher botol ni. Ni leher botol. Okay, ini leher botol. Bayangkan highway 4 lorong, tiba-tiba jadi 2 lorong. Okay, what happen here? So dia akan congest dekat sini. Okay, so maksudnya dia akan berlaku kesesakan. Contoh macam sekarang ni lah, kalau siapa yang tengok video ni hari ni ataupun besok, hari ni hari Selasa, esok hari Rabu, okay, ada satu isu yang berkaitan dengan MySejahtera ni. Okay, so hari ni dengan semalam ramai sangat yang download MySejahtera ni sampai server dia jam. Kenapa server dia jam? Berlaku macam ni lah sebenarnya. Okay, sebab apa? Terlalu ramai orang yang install untuk daftar, tetapi jalan untuk nak ke server dia tu, jalan untuk nak ke database dia terlalu narrow, terlalu sempit. Okay, so at the end of the day, kat sini dia akan jadi jam, bottleneck. Okay, so this is what we call as a bottleneck. Ataupun satu lagi analogi yang simple, bila ramai-ramai balik kampung, highway 4 lorong pun boleh jam. Sebab dah terlalu banyak user, dah terlalu ramai user, akhirnya bila sampai nak keluar daripada highway, tiba-tiba jam. Sebab highway 4 lorong, nak keluar daripada dia 2 lorong. Itu contoh dia. Okay, so this is what we call as a, so that's why kadang-kadang benda ni dipanggil failure. Sebab performance tu. Okay, next one. Okay, even storing data on a cluster machine to backup central database might cause performance bottleneck and also data inconsistency. Okay, so when we talk about cluster, okay, cluster is normally being used in our big data, big data environment. So I will talk about this later, about big data. So nowadays people will store information using cluster, different machines to backup the database. Okay, next. Okay, still another mobile database architecture. Okay, so this is what we call a P2P architecture or peer-to-peer architecture. P2P. Okay, so P2P means peer-to-peer. Okay, peer-to-peer architecture. So what is peer? Peer is actually something like rakan. So this is one peer. This is one. Maybe we have another peer here. This is what we call P2P. This all peer will communicate using internet to the database. Okay, or if let's say you can see here, this is one peer, this is peer 1, this is peer 2, this is peer 3. Okay, they will communicate through our network or internet here. Okay, so this is what we call peer-to-peer architecture. Alright, next. Okay, mobile database. Mobile database environment. Okay, in P2P mobile database, the database maintenance activities are distributed among clients. Okay, so among clients means okay, this is one client, this is one client, this is one client, right? So and sometimes they call it as a peer. So just the same things. Okay, all right. So next, every process plays part of the roles of the server besides its client role. Okay, so each of the peer will play the roles of the server. Besides, normally before this we are a client. Now we can play part of the server. Okay, next. For a client that want to access a piece of data, send a request to other peer client and they forward the request until the data is found. Okay, so they will communicate among the peer. So peer A communicate to peer B communicate to peer C, and so on. Okay, they will request for the data until they found the data, and the request will forward back the data. Okay, the major problems, okay, in this model is the availability to ensure the availability of the data. So sometimes just imagine, bayangkan, kita ada peer 1, peer 2, peer 3. Okay, they communicate. This is all communicate through the network here. Okay, so just imagine, at one time, at one point, okay, peer 3 shut down. So what happened? Okay, the data will not available, because the peer 3 is no more in our network, and sometimes suddenly peer 2 also shut down. So what happened? Okay, so we will lost the data. So this is what we call the availability of the data in this model. So if let's say we want to ensure the data is up to date, please make sure all the peer is working, no shutdown, no what we call as terminations, okay, abnormal termination and so on. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, mobile database characteristics. Mobile database characteristic. Okay, so number one, okay, please bear in mind, okay, you all can characteristics, mobile database characteristic. Okay, please take note. So sometimes this is it's quite popular for questions, Q&A. Alright, so number one is restricted bandwidth of wireless network. Okay, kita ada masalah, kadang-kadang wireless network kita ni ada limitation, restrict. Okay, like just nice, during the PKP, so normally sometimes ada masa-masa kita punya network jadi very slow, because of the bandwidth of the wireless network. Sebab terlalu ramai guna. Bila terlalu ramai guna, kita akan jadi masalah dekat sini, bandwidth. Ni yang kita selalu nampak ni lah. Sometimes sebelah petang je network kita akan jadi sangat slow. Bukan seorang je, mungkin satu Malaysia, mungkin satu dunia, because of the bandwidth, sebab dah terlalu ramai orang guna. Okay, number two, limited power supply. Okay, battery of the device is limited. Okay, ni pun saya rasa gila kalau kata handphone, laptops. Okay, berapa lama boleh tahan? Mungkin 4 hingga 5 jam saja kan, 4 to 5 hours. Okay, and mobility, the next one, can be brought anywhere, anytime. Server must keep track the client location in order to efficiently route message to them. Okay, so that's why bila server nak keep track ni, mesti kita perlu ada data ataupun internet. Then kita kena on lah kita punya location tu. Okay, kita kena on kita punya location selalu. Okay, number 4 is disconnection. Okay, low signal could interrupt the connection anytime. Proxies for unreachable component are added to the architecture. Okay, so ni pun perkara yang biasa lah. Kadang-kadang tiba-tiba je disconnect because of the network issue. Okay, next, data management issues for the mobile. Okay, number one is data management. So data cache, or we call it as a cache file, cache. Sometimes orang sebut kache. So for this one we call data caching, cache. Okay, results of previous query are cached on mobile. Cache ni maksud dia lebih kurang macam history. Okay, disimpan kita punya sejarah. So that's why, ataupun dengan nama lain, sometimes kita pernah dengar perkataan dia cookies. Kita pernah dengar perkataan cookies. So benda-benda ni semua because dia will, komputer kita akan simpan kita punya previous query tadi ni dalam handphone dan sebagainya, dan dia akan jadikan dia sebagai satu cache file, jadikan sebagai satu file untuk history. So normally bila kita nak retrieve back the informations, dia boleh retrieve dengan cepat. It's quite fast. Okay. Dan of course, when we talk about query, kita kena ada log file lah. So that's why macam kita cerita before this, log ni pun salah satu dia punya definition adalah history. Okay. So maksud dia akan simpan segala maklumat kita dalam log, can be further used in personalization and also recommendation. Ini macam yang Google selalu guna sekarang ni lah. Bila kita Google something, dia akan simpan kita punya information dan dia boleh personalize kita. So towards the end, sometimes dia boleh tahu kita ni kerja kat mana, duduk kat mana, and so on. Okay? Sebab dia ada log file tadi ni. Dia ada sejarah kita. Okay, dia ada history kita. Okay, number 2. Representation of storage of mobile data. Okay, spatial data management and also index and retrieval schema. Okay, so this is something related to our storage. So kita kena tengoklah, sometimes dia akan store local, sometimes dia akan store in the central, database. Okay, number 3 is data classification. Okay, data classification sama ada location dependent or location independence. Dia akan bergantung kepada location kita. Sebab tu sekarang ni sangat popular dah ni, perkataan location ni. So that's why kadang-kadang dia minta kita onkan location untuk kita punya handphone tab dan sebagainya, because they want to keep track us, they want keep track our data and so on. Okay, next. Okay, the next one is transaction management issues. Still in data management issues. Okay, transaction mean that's mobile query processing, query type, constraint and also search result accuracy. So kita kena tengok juga macam mana kita punya transaction. Okay, the next one is mobile concurrency control. Okay, so macam mana dia nak control concurrency serentak. Similar to the issues of concurrency control in the distributed. Okay, in the distributed and also in the transaction management. And the next one, transaction and error recovery, conventional transaction properties. Okay, so this is for the recovery management. Kita dah belajar jugalah itu, 2PL dan sebagainya lah. So refer back to transaction management notes. Okay, next. Okay, applications. Okay, this is the examples of the applications, but this is quite old. So now we are in the year 2020. There's a lot of application that we can use. Okay, number 1, okay, Omniscience object technology, create by Oracle. So nowadays we can talk about Google, Yahoo, Waze, and so on. Okay, their product become the first version of Oracle Lights, and Oracle Lights run under 1 meg and also 3 megabytes of hard disk space. Okay, this is the issue nowadays. When we talk about application must be very light. Maksud dia sangat ringan, kena consume memory yang very minimum and also kena gunakan hard disk yang very minimum. Okay, and also the personal Oracle Lite ni, okay, can single user, relational, that can run on desktop, laptops and also the smallest handheld device, handphone and so on. Okay, ni contoh je lah. Kalau kita nak tengok contoh sekarang ni terlalu banyak. Okay, so I think for these lessons, I will stop here first for part 1. Okay, so kita akan jumpa lagi dalam part 2 later for multimedia databases. Alright, so with that, thank you very much kerana sudi mendengar. Okay, thank you for listening, and with that, I will end this part 1. Alright, so we'll continue in part 2, multimedia databases. Okay, with that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.